Hello guys, my name is Adam Lobo.
And I'm Vernon. Good to be back.
Yes, this is episode number 23 of What the Tech. And this time around, since the last What the Tech podcast that we had, a lot of people seems to like our live reaction on all the devices that we have reviewed or not yet reviewed fully. So for this episode, it's going to be similar to what we did last week or 2 weeks ago to be exactly specific, which are having your hands-on experience, because we are one of the very few people in the world to actually have this phone, which is the HUAWEI Pura 80 Ultra. So we're going to get your reactions to that. We're also going to get your reactions to this phone, the Nothing Phone 3, your favorite phone,
the Van Gogh smartphones.
The Picasso/Van Gogh phones.
Actually, Picasso. Yeah, that's
Van Gogh is okay actually. I think it's Picasso.
Yeah, it's Picasso. You're right.
The Galaxy Z Fold7, I have been using this for the past several days because we just came back from overseas. And spoiler alert, Vernon's favorite phone, which is the new Flip 7.
Always love the Flip.
And other than that, we'll also be talking about tech news, but we're going to make sure that this time around the podcast is going to be driving towards the tech news also, not only specifically on a reaction, which is apparently Abang, there's not going to be S26 Plus. That is the big rumor. We'll go.
I have thoughts. Okay.
I'm sure you do.
We'll talk about it later.
So we're going to dive further into that. And Samsung, I like this story because we almost forgot that Samsung plans to charge for Galaxy AI. Remember? They said that it's going to be available only for a certain point of time. So it's year 2025. So we all have to wait and see what gets charged and what does not get charged for Galaxy AI.
Sure.
And apparently they do have like a teaser list of what they're going to be charging us. So stay tuned for that in case you all did not know. And then for Vernon's favorite segment, Who Asked for This? Lenovo is coming up with a white color version of the ThinkPad. So I'm sure Vernon has his... I'm sure you have your thoughts over there. The community segment, the question I am a bit... I was questioning side of coming up with a question because he asked which laptop or desktop OS that you guys prefer. Of course, you and I, we say Mac. If you ask Lihud, he'll say Mac. If you ask Adam Arif, he'll say Mac. But apparently, the community says Windows 75%. So, although I don't think we got so much to talk about, but let's talk about the most obvious answer right after this. And then what's exciting next week is the fact that if you guys are from Malaysia, I'll be doing an on-ground hosting event for Galaxy AI. Both me and Uma Nashbandi from Product Nation will be doing an on-ground hosting. That is happening, if you're watching this on Saturday, that'll be happening tomorrow at Celcom DG in Mid Valley. And the following Sunday will be in Celcom DG in Sunway Pyramid. And we'll also be having a very quick chat about our video releases. And of course, we're going to start off with the reaction. So, are you excited with the devices that you're going to be using, Abang?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So let's start with the HUAWEI Pura 80 Ultra. Before I pass this to you, I want to know, by just looking at the renders, what is your first thoughts before I pass this to you?
Ugly.
Okay. Other than ugly, what else? Was there any point of time or an area which you felt like, I was really impressed?
Okay, aesthetically ugly.
Okay.
But I think the twin telescopic lens is interesting.
Okay.
It's an interesting take on something that's, it's never been there before.
Okay.
So
Let me pass the device
lens.
now to you.
Okay.
Get
Move that
your
side.
live reaction about this. And for those of you who haven't seen the device, the camera is going to be focusing on our Abang Vernon over here. And you can see his real reaction. So why didn't you like the design?
I just think it looks weird. It looks like an alien with a mouth open.
Only he'll come out with things like this. Okay. And then?
Yeah, it reminds me of, those telescopes where you're at a place of interest where you...
Or like the San Francisco Bridge.
Yeah, you put
Empire
a coin
State
in it
Building.
and then you get to see a zoomed version of the bridge. It looks a lot like that. It looks
insert
like it's
coin.
inspired by the insert coin, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's trying to be different, and I feel that it also feels like an iPhone 8 Plus.
Oh, really?
In terms of how the edges are
the
rounded
side,
and
the curves.
curved glass. looks very well made. Obviously, it feels good in the hands. A bit heavy, I think, because of the lenses as well. But yeah, design-wise, not a fan of it.
Okay.
But I've seen some pictures of the photos that comes out from this camera, and they're amazing, and I'm very impressed with that. But yeah, design-wise, not my thing.
Okay.
Not my thing.
So that's your conclusion of the
my
Pura
conclusion.
80 Ultra. For me, the first time both Leo and I held this in Dubai, we were very excited with the idea of it being very huge because we know size does matter. That's what she said. But one of the main things that I don't like, which I didn't mention in the video yet until when I used the phone daily, is that it's such a fingerprint magnet.
Yeah, it is.
Even when Lihud and I was shooting this in Dubai, it was like he brought the freaking cloth. He brought a cloth all the way from Malaysia to Dubai to wipe the filler.
Does it cost $99?
No, it's an expensive, but I want to say carbon fiber cloth. Microfiber cloth. Okay, but yeah, the idea of it being fingerprint magnet is something that really, I hate that. That's why I've always liked a matte color phone.
Yeah, same.
A matte color finish. The display, the size and the bezels also, I wouldn't say is the biggest thing over here. It looks a bit outdated. Other than that, it's a very, 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 very good phone. And the camera quality is great. It is really heavy. So if you're looking for a phone that is light, I think you already know that is a fact. Another drawback which I found on this Pura 80 Ultra while using the phone daily is the fact that while the rear cameras is a beast, but the front cameras is not so good. Let's just put it that way. Dynamic range for phones like Samsung, even the Nothing phone, which we'll talk about soon, I felt like it was so much better, especially for video quality. The good news is that it is 4K for the front video camera. You know how much
Something you always pick up,
I always speak on that.
Yeah.
So the good news is that there is 4K, but I felt like the quality is not as good. Image stabilization is a little jittery here and there. But the question is whether or not people are ready to use the software. And let's not talk about the whole Google thing because we are going to do a video about what
so
is
you're
the current
referring
update.
to Harmony OS?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So we are going to do a video about how you can still use certain apps and even Google apps and all still on a HUAWEI Pura 80 Ultra. So stay tuned for that video, hopefully next week. But just as a user, if I were to take your iPhone away and give you the HUAWEI Pura 80 Ultra and say you cannot touch the iPhone, how would you react to that?
I mean, I'll treat it as using another, almost like an Android device. It looks and feels like an Android device.
Another factor, because the fact that it's using a Kirin chipset and because our uncle Donald Trump don't allow the chipset, and that clearly means that this is a 4G phone, in case you all did not know. Funny enough...
You mean it's not a 5G phone?
It's not a 5G phone.
Okay, I didn't know
Ever
that.
since I'm glad you didn't know, so at least we have that real life reaction from
You
Bernard's
learn new
first.
things every day.
And also, and it's quite funny because somebody commented and said, bro, can you do a 5G test? So he's being sarcastic. Because it's true. Any Huawei device does not have 5G because of the restriction from the US. So even the nanometer process also is quite high up.
Yeah, it's 7 nanometers.
Because of that.
So
does
two deal
that
breakers, basically.
Exactly. So do you think, if it's not Vernon, somebody who just wants to use a phone, would you find that a deal breaker?
For most, I think, yes. For most. But some people don't really mind.
Yeah.
They'll say, so what, 4G, it's fine. But it's got great cameras, and I think that's a big draw for some people.
I don't want to give a spoiler, but because of the fact it's 4G, it also saves a lot of battery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
makes sense.
I guess it all comes down to people's priority. So in the conclusion, you would say that you would still use this like a usual Android phone. You just don't like the design, but you can live with it.
Most likely, yeah.
That's very good. Okay, so that is the first reaction. Very nice to know. The next reaction or the next thing that we're going to talk about is your favorite phone, which is this phone, the Nothing Phone 3.
It's my favorite phone?
Yeah, it's your favorite phone because you have a lot of things to say about it. So let's start off with you first once again. What do you like? What do you don't like about this?
What's with manufacturers making ugly phones?
It's a talking factor.
Is that a trend? I mean, we've talked about this during the last session
Podcast,
as well.
yeah.
It's different for sure. Credit to Nothing for trying new things and being bold enough to make it different. But again, aesthetically pleasing, it's not. I feel it's definitely trying too hard and doing too much with it. There's just so much going on. Look at the back plate. It looks better in black, I must say. But design aside, I think it's actually very well built. It looks very good. Looks great in the hands. Size wise, I think it's a perfect size, to be honest.
Okay.
For in terms of display and how it fits in the hand. I'm not a fan of the design for sure. Again, the matrix, glyph matrix thing is very gimmicky to me. I do like the fact that there's this red notification.
The camera recording button.
Yeah, I think it's very good.
It's just only camera though. If only there was a notification, then it would be kind of cool.
They could do that, but then they got the glyph matrix to run that. This button here as well that launches that. Overall well built. I think it's a nice phone otherwise, and I think in terms of value for money, it's also a good option for someone. And you know that I'm a big fan of Nothing OS.
Yes.
It's so nice to use. A really good kind of skin, Android skin that they've done from ground up. It feels just super slick and smooth. Yeah. Really nice.
Okay. Good. Okay.
Good option.
For me, I have no issues with the design. I don't mind it. Yes, I'm an OCD guy. Everybody behind the scenes know that. But I'm okay with it because, to be fair, the reason why, according to Kalpe, when we watched the video, he said, the reason why it's off is because he wanted to make the camera bump on the periscope lenses be below and all. I feel...
I don't buy it. Sorry, Carl.
Okay, yes. But I feel they purposely made it psychotic like this. Because you, I, and the whole world can talk about this.
Yeah, true. It's definitely a
because if they
conversation starter.
Because you know why? The Nothing Phone 1 and Nothing Phone 2 look like an iPhone. It look like an iPhone, like the iPhone 15, iPhone 14, iPhone 16 kind of thing. This finally looks like no other phone. And the reason why Nothing was created is to become different, right? And same like how Apple came up with the Apple wheels for the Mac Studio. Remember the Mac Pro?
But that had to be done because the Mac Pro was heavy.
That's true.
It's not something you lug around.
But not with that kind of price. But okay, build quality and all is good. But what I'm trying to say is that the idea of having this is definitely a talking factor. According to Kalpe, he said that, the Nothing Phone 3A Pro, a lot of people did not like the...
3A Pro.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like the design because it was different. We didn't have it. Although Nothing Malaysia said they're going to pass it to us, but they didn't. But the main thing is that a lot of people apparently hated it, but it is currently Nothing's highest selling phone. Because eventually like it. They use it for a few days and that is...
Carl did say it will grow on you.
Yeah, correct.
I'm not sure how that grows on me. It has not grown on me. It's still...
For me, I use this daily. Again, I don't know. Like, remember you asked who asked for this? I never asked for anything at the back of the phone. I want to look at the front of the phone, Ladi. Why do you bother putting stuff at the back? So for me, the glyph matrix, okay, let's just go rewind back, right? Rewind back, right? And even the Nothing Phone 1 and Nothing Phone 2, they came out with glyph lighting. Okay, when we shot the phone and Leewood came out, this cool idea of using the glyph lights and all. Since then, we never used the glyph lights.
Yeah.
And I said in the video, I said that it's cool to have, but eventually no one's going to care. And that's exactly what Nothing did for the Phone 3 because they took it out. They came out with the glyph matrix. I watched a video of Kalpe's video about the reaction saying about how, we feel the glyph matrix is new and is revolutionary. No, a lot of other people came out with enemy matrix.
Yeah.
It's true that putting a screen is a whole different thing, but the whole enemy matrix, something that Asus says doing that for the longest time, so I don't know which shell he's sleeping under. There's also the glyph button. I think it's cool to have, but again, it's going to be one of those things that we don't give a toot about, right? Because for me, I just feel like, okay, here's another thing which I've mentioned. By the way, guys, if you guys are watching this, stay tuned for an in-depth. not only camera, but a device comparison between this and the S25.
Yep.
Doing a video on that because it's the same exact price.
Very important video, I feel.
Thank you, Abang.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Lihood is having troubles editing it because it's 17 minutes long, poor guy.
17
minutes,
Okay.
not 70.
That's not too bad.
70 means the will bury himself. The thing about what I don't understand is Nothing's decision is that the front glass is using the 7i glass, which is not good.
Not true flagship glass.
But not only that, Abang. Here's the thing. The 7i is not only less durable and Victus 2, but also it is very scratch prone. If you're going to use this phone, guys, and put it face down, aren't you scratching the screen?
You are.
So
that's always the risk.
What kind of decision is that, right? I know they want to cut costs, but my point is that, definitely. They cut the price on the screen's protection. They cut the price on the chipset.
Yep, the
but
CPU.
According to the test that we have done, it's fine. It's not a huge deal breaker, to be honest. Yeah. Especially using it daily is fine. If you play games, it's fine. But my biggest annoyance, which I did not mention in the video, that's why we have this podcast, is the fact that this USB 2.0.
That is just disappointing.
What year is this?
It's disappointing.
So I plugged in. So usually when I take photos,
that's sacrilege.
Exactly. So when I took photos on the phone and I wanted to put it side by side on the Mac Studio display because it's color accurate to do our video comparison, I put the SSD. I'm waiting for 20 years. So why isn't it detecting? But when I put on the S25, he was immediate. And I'm using an SSD. And then I realized because it's USB version 2.0. So
why did they do that?
So that was all the bad things. I'm sure you all negativity bias. You all here to hear the bad stuff. But the good stuff is that the screen refresh rate, even though it's from 60 to 120, not 1 to 120, it still was fine. It looked good. If you guys can see this and you've seen the videos online, it's a very good screen. And the battery life was really mind-blowing. Spoiler alert if you're going to watch the video, but let's just have this. 10 hours of screen on time.
That's good.
At 10% battery. And even though with 60 to 120 hertz refresh rate, that is really mind-blowing great. The cameras on this is really good, especially the front cameras. If you want to see a head-to-head, that one I won't spoil it. I want you all to see for yourself how is it compared to the S25. I would say that people will buy this phone because of Nothing OS. You're right. Nothing OS is currently borderline my favorite OS for Android other than One UI because it's very nice. The essential space, the idea of, because I'm a screenshot slut, so I like the idea of having a proper place. I mean, Google Pixel has a screenshots app as well. That is really good because I screenshot a lot. And I'm sure most of y'all do. Adam is nodding at the back because he does too. So the thing is that while there are a lot of things that we can complain about, there are a lot of things that you could like about it. So it does come down to your personal preference, although that sounds like we are copying out, but we are not because we have highlighted every single point as well. Going back to the similar question I asked about that, even though you don't like the design, knowing the fact that the phone's design is at the back, would you use this daily?
Yeah, I would definitely use it daily.
Okay.
If it was mine.
Okay.
I would put a case on it though.
I did tell you that after we're done a review, we're gonna challenge you to use it as your daily device. So
I don't think I'll have a problem.
Yeah. So Samsung is making a noise because he wants to get the attention now because I'm using the Z Fold7 as my main device now. So let's talk about that, Abang.
Yeah.
Samsung Galaxy Z Fold7. We talked about this in every podcast about how thin they're going to get, and we were wishing for the Galaxy G Fold. That did not come. There was no teaser, but they released this particular device, the thinnest foldable from Samsung, but not only from Samsung. Other clowns like Honor claims that they are thin, but we found out that they were bluffing all of us. More on that next time. Yeah, so we'll talk about that. Don't worry, because you all know how much I love Honor. But the biggest surprise for me was the fact that they changed the aspect ratio.
Yeah.
But it's still not the square, right? So I think that is something whereby...
Still not as wide as
it's still not wide like the Oppo Find N, but it's definitely usable. I use this a bit more. The inner screen has been increased. Alamak. The inner screen has been increased now, so it's bigger. The crease is still there, in case you guys are wondering, but it's not as prominent as before. But the biggest factor is the fact that it is super thin.
Yeah, it's crazy.
you see, this is the nothing phone. This is half, but even when you close it,
It's still thinner.
it is still so much thinner.
Yeah.
What is your first impressions when this particular fold came out? Because prior to this, we were not so
I wasn't
impressed about it.
Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah.
impressed with the initial teaser when it came out. I thought it looked exactly the same. The screen ratio seemed the same, and whether it was thinner, a bit lighter, we didn't have very big expectations,
Yeah.
and I didn't have a very good kind of impression of it.
After holding it?
Yeah, but now I've changed my impression of it because I think it's amazing. It's just incredibly thin, and but it doesn't feel fragile.
Yeah.
I think that's important. That foldables have come so far, and it's no longer that fragile thing like eggs that you carry in a basket kind of thing.
Speaking of fragile, when I went for MWC in Barcelona, there was a lot of brands like Techno and all which came out their own foldable. And yes, it felt like it's going to break any point in time.
Right.
So that is one of the biggest things on why people should choose a foldable of this Z Fold. And another thing is that the fact that it's super light. And I've been using this finally daily since yesterday. And the first thing is that every time when I take it out from my pocket, I'll be like, hey, is this my S25 Ultra or is it the Fold? Yeah. And the cameras. Are you impressed with the fact that they are finally not compromising on the cameras because there's a 200 megapixel camera finally inside?
Well, it's still arguable because what you lose is the telescopic capabilities. There's no space zoom on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, 3x optical is good. I've seen images of from the 200 megapixel camera. I think they are very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Nice color science,
Yeah.
super details and stuff like that. Good dynamic range, I think.
Very good.
Yeah, I've seen
8K
pictures.
log on this. 8K log. And the good news is that I was using 8K log in a super hot weather, did not overheat, which this one overheated, just so you all know.
Yeah.
This
And,
one did not overheat at all.
Video is good as well.
Very
I've
good.
seen
Stabilization.
Stabilization. Maybe if I would nitpick, it would be the camera module and
Okay.
it's a little bit big.
Okay.
And
That's what she said.
and if you put it on the table, it kind of rocks.
Oh yeah, it's the world's most wobbly phone on earth.
Personally, I don't do this. I don't type when
I do it.
put my phone on the table, but I'll probably do this.
Yeah.
Okay, one very, very big
Yes.
important factor is where the heck is the S Pen?
Yes, my S Pen abang. Talk to us about your frustration about that. Let it out here in the podcast.
I think in the previous episode we talked about the S Pen and how I feel that its days are numbered. Yeah. And sadly, I think it's going to go in that direction. But apparently, what I heard when I attended the local roadshow recently, was that Samsung is working on an S Pen that would work with this. I don't know how they're going to do it because this has no digitizer, which is how it's so much thinner. But apparently so. So I'm looking forward to that. I do miss the S Pen because that has been like the defining factor of buying a Note series before. And then the Ultra, which is part of the S series.
If I had to be a bit nerdy on the specs, I think it is possible. You know how they have this, like Uniqlo and all in other countries, they have this gloves where it is still sensitive for your fingerprints. Yeah. They could probably use the
nib. The nib would be different. The nib.
You all know when they said nib, what comes to our head? Okay. Yeah, so they could probably use that. They could probably use that technology because in the end of the day, it needs some level of heat. It's like, how you press the button of the lift, for example. If you use your phone to press it, you cannot, but you need to use your hand to touch it.
Sure.
So I think it is possible, but I'm going to go against you and say I highly doubt they're going to bring the S Pen to this.
Really? I mean, if it's good as an option. So I think Samsung's decision is that they found that people are not using the S Pen. It's getting less and less people who are using the stylus with the phones. But having it as an add-on that you can buy outside, I think that's a good option for those who are going to use, the stylus with the phone.
Yeah. Then they're probably going to have like a cover where you can put the S Pen.
Yeah, the only inconvenience is that you can't slot it into the body like you would the Ultra and also the Note series before.
Remember 2 weeks ago we talked about how Samsung might be removing the S Pen altogether for the S series to put the Qi 2 wireless MagSafe. I hope to God they do that. Otherwise, just buy a D-brand case and you're sorted. D-brand plug. Yeah.
But I think the trend now is just going thinner and thinner. This is amazing. I guess the S25 Edge set the precedence for this.
Nobody asked for candy bar thin, but we did ask for this. Let's be honest. We did wanted a phone that did not feel like a brick. And ever since I held the Oppo Find N5, I really love the phone. And well, I'm glad that.
No, this is amazing. I think it feels really good in the hands. I wouldn't mind having the Z Fold7, to be honest.
I'm going to throw in another question in between now. Now that you see that Samsung has done this for their phone, do you see that the fact that Apple is going to come out with a foldable now is closer because of the fact that Samsung has already done this and you know that they do this very well?
Well, I mean, Apple's rumored to release the iPhone Fold, not official name, next year, 2026, sometime next year, rumored.
Yeah, rumored.
But again, Samsung is the one who develops the displays. And maybe Apple is just waiting for the correct time to come in because the quality isn't as where they expect yet. But I'm sure Samsung will pull it off.
But now that Samsung has released,
it's very close now. The crease is quite.
It's better,
unnoticeable.
but not as.
Not
I think Huawei does this better when it comes to the crease. The Huawei X6, which is Liu's favorite foldable.
That's still a Samsung display, right?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's a BOE display.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's China display. I'm not going to use Samsung's display. Their ego very big. So, they've been always. And if I'm not mistaken, they have certain amount of production coming from their side for the displays for the foldables as well. But they do have their own supplier, which is in China. So it's a totally different display. Right. I didn't know that. I thought it was also Samsung, but it's not. Oppo, OnePlus, and Google Pixel, all the foldables, all are using Samsung. But everyone else, nope.
So if anyone can, Samsung is the one. Yeah, it's for sure. It looks really good. But if you, what I noticed was the pricing structure.
Oh, talk to us about that.
Yeah, pricing structure, I feel, is getting very close to where the candy bar is going.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
So the base fold is actually the top tier Ultra. So it's getting very close now.
Yes.
I think people are at the stage where should I consider affordable? Because it's a very close pricing now.
Okay.
Same with the Flip and so forth.
Okay. Before we go into the next phone to react on, I'm still trying to pick your brain, trying to understand why is it that you are more of a flip person than a foldable person?
I think it's because I'm someone who has multiple devices and I already have a tablet in my bag or a laptop. I don't need another one. And I feel that makes sense because it's going to be so tiny I can just put it in my pocket.
Okay. So let's talk about that next. Let's take back this. So since you had a round of talking, so we'll make you rest for a while. Guys, this is the Z Flip7. The 3 things that have been changed. First of all, finally, they have decided to have the whole screen to cover compared to last generation. Of course, they were not the first to do this. Motorola did it. Xiaomi did it.
Big fan of the Razr Ultra.
Yeah, I know you are.
Yeah.
I never used a Motorola phone in my life, so probably you need to pass me a Motorola phone to test it out. So this, guys, is one of the biggest upgrade because now the screen goes all the way in. And then if you open up, even this particular screen is also bigger compared to last time. The bezels are smaller, something that you need a microscope to see that. But yeah, it is if you see our hands-on video side by side. So that is one of the main things. The battery is also larger. How we are planning to do a review about this is that we want to position this particular video towards people who never had a foldable and going from a candy bar phone to a flip or a foldable form factor. So that's how we're going to do our review based on. So if you're one of those people who always had a candy bar phone and felt that the fold is too big, like what Vernon says, or you feel like, I'd rather go with a flip instead, make sure to check out that video when it's out. So you are? Tell us, what do you like about the phone? Besides the form factor which you mentioned.
I love it because I think 7 generations on, it's almost like the perfect clamshell foldable. It's so refined now. The hinge is amazing.
And the color is your favorite.
The color is really good.
Of course, because
this
you're a
blue.
Chelsea fan.
World champions, by the way.
Ken, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, give it to me. Okay. Design and build, unmistakably Samsung, very top form. And I think the ratio is a little bit different now. It's a little bit wider.
It is, yeah.
Not quite
Like HUAWEI.
the Mate X, which I really like.
Yeah.
In terms of form factor, I think that's the perfect screen ratio. But we're very close. And to be honest, I would use this daily.
Nice.
And I really like it. No compromise on cameras. Yeah. Very good camera. And overall a fantastic phone. And again, pricing structure wise, Samsung makes it easier for a consumer to decide if they want to buy a Flip, because it's very close to a candy bar phone price. Of course, if you want cheaper, then you got FE.
They came out with the FE, right? So
FE is basically buying a Z Fold7
with the Exynos chipset and new software.
Yeah.
Which eventually is going to come to Samsung devices because it's 7 years security.
Which is
and
okay,
software
but
updates.
it's got big competition with the Razer. I think, although Razer doesn't really have a presence in Malaysia, but globally, I think it has. Razer has really set a standard in terms of the affordable clamshell phone.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Love this.
Among all of this phone we talk about, since like the Z Fold7, the Flip, the Nothing, and the Pura, if you had one choice, which phone to use to replace your iPhone, which one would you use?
That's a very difficult question.
I love to put him on the spot. That's why Vernon is here.
It will be very close between the Flip and the Fold.
Okay.
Considering what I just said about the Fold and having a multiple device.
Yeah.
Okay, assuming I don't have a tablet and a laptop, right?
Yeah.
The Fold.
Okay.
If it was otherwise, it would be the Flip.
Okay. So you are going towards here because of Samsung as a brand, or because you said you love Nothing OS? Why didn't you choose Nothing OS instead?
Because that is true flagship.
That's a true point. Okay.
The hardware is different. Cameras are different. The experience is different. You do have one UI, which is comparable to Nothing in terms of polish and technology. Better display.
That's true.
As well.
And what's funny is that, you know how both the Samsung devices have the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy? According to research, not even the regular Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset is the highest selling chipset. The highest selling chipset from Qualcomm, from a smartphone perspective, is the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's quite interesting because it's only for Galaxy. It shows that there are a lot of users of Samsung in the whole world. Because knowing the fact that only for Galaxy is only on their devices, and they have that to be one of the highest selling phone or the chipset in the world. So I didn't know that. Sunday when I did some research, and even Marquez mentioned that in his video, I was like, I also was quite shocked. It's not the regular 8 Elite. It is the 4 Galaxy as well. That's interesting. Thank you for choosing.
Custom chips.
At least now we know. Okay, so we're done with the reactions. And guys, with this insight that we've talked about, if you have any input, or if you could tell us, out of all of these devices that we have reacted to, which one would you choose if it's your one and only device? Let us know in the comment section below, and please ignore that annoying
notifications from your phone.
No, it's not. It's quoting. I think quoting is... I'm not sure. But anyway, it's fine. Okay, let's talk about news, Abang. So the More S26 Plus.
Wow.
Talk to us and talk to everybody about that.
Is this emulating Apple in any way? Apple's,
Yeah, so what's the lowdown for this?
Well, I feel the important question is, from consumers, is why the Plus first, right? You buy the Plus because it has a bigger display. It's got a bigger battery. Mostly. Right? Mostly.
Yeah.
I mean, for the S25 standard variant, I think it's a very strong product, as you've reviewed, and compared to a lot of phones. And the question is it a strategic move to increase Ultra sales? Because that would be the only option for someone who wants a bigger display, barring the S25 Edge.
Yeah.
I don't put that in because it's
So the reason why they want to remove the S26 Plus because they want to replace it with the S26 Edge. So do you feel like that was a good decision by them by changing with the Edge, or because I don't know, like Syed, he loves the Plus version.
Yeah, to be honest, I think the Edge is absolutely not a good alternative to the Plus.
I agree with you.
Number one, because of the battery life.
Yeah,
it's a much smaller battery, and I feel it's a wrong move by Samsung. But what if we have an S26 FE that's actually a Plus?
Ooh, that's damn smart.
That's one option. Okay,
yeah, that's smart. Didn't think of that.
You get a bigger battery, you get a bigger screen size, and obviously it's more affordable. Maybe build quality not as great, maybe plastic. And if so, why? And if not, why? They could do something like that, right? Or maybe we could be looking at a bigger S26 in the future. So no more 6.2, is purely 6.7, and then a 6.9.
I'm okay with the whole idea of having the Edge. Only if the battery size is increased and they're using the silicon anode battery.
Okay, it might happen with the silicon carbon.
They might, right?
Yeah.
But so I was watching Superstar's talks together with him and Anamong, and Superstar says that the reason why that Samsung is not adapting or adopting this particular silicon carbon thin
technology
battery is because of the sheer volume. It's one of the reasons why iPhone takes their time. Do you think that is the reason, or memang in general they are like, I will just wait on this, or I plan to release a better version next time?
That could be a reason, to be honest. Not enough volume of silicon carbon out there.
I agree with Saf, because now that you're saying things like the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy sells higher, it could be the reason why they don't have enough. And I think battery is extremely sensitive for Samsung as well because of what happened with the Note 7.
Yeah.
So I think they're playing it safe.
Probably a lot of testing.
But if the S26 Edge has a bigger battery, then it makes sense. But if you're going to have the similar battery capacity of the current S25 Edge, then probably not the best decision.
But with the silicon carbon battery, right? Assuming it's across the line, across S26 devices, then all the other devices would also be thinner.
Be a bigger battery as well.
Bigger battery and thinner, right? But I feel at this point it's just too big a gap left by cutting out the Plus.
Yep.
If they remove that, because there isn't a real alternative to the Plus for people on a bigger phone.
Yeah.
You see
so all in all, you feel like it's definitely not a good decision, and you feel like the Plus is a better option compared to getting the Edge.
Absolutely.
I'm with you.
Also, do you find it weird that Samsung is trimming the S line but expanding the foldable line? What does it tell you? What's it telling you? Is it because people are moving and more accepting of foldables right now, and they see that trend kind of moving towards that? People are kind of...
That's why the price structure has been changed.
Yes,
also,
the price structure...
to make it a bit more accessible.
It's showing you that people are more accepting of foldables, and they would consider foldable as the next device.
Yeah. Because I'm already saying that the Z Fold7 will be my Android device moving forward, and it will replace my S25. I've always liked the S25 because I've always been a fan of the Note. So we'll just have to wait and see, especially in terms of the battery. We never got to test the Edge here in Malaysia because unfortunately they didn't care about us. They don't really care about us. They didn't care. They said, it's okay.
How does that fit into the strategy if you were to remove the Plus and you've got an Edge which isn't coming to Malaysia?
Maybe the Edge will come to Malaysia then.
Maybe the 26 will come,
Yeah, I'm sure it will, because remember that the Edge was by the way, it's like one more thing. Yeah. So probably that's the reason why, and maybe they released the S25 Edge to certain countries only to just test the market dulu.
Maybe.
It's like, hey, you wanna. Then they see that and see and probably the reason why they're making this decision is because the S25 Edge were doing well on the countries it's available. So that could be the reason why they did this.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be like a tech test. Like, remember the Note Edge?
Oh yeah, at the side there,
Yeah.
got a lengkong a bit.
So,
It's
I
quite
mean, it was
cute.
a
Yeah. I like that.
kind of like a
It
one-off
was
thing.
interesting. I didn't buy it, but I got to test on that. That time no such thing review unit all. I was still in Astro event filler. Okay, the next one is that we forgot. Honestly, I forgot. If Sai didn't write this, I almost forgot about it, to be honest.
Galaxy AI.
Yeah, Galaxy AI, we are excited about it, but you know how the moment that they release Galaxy AI, it's a separate AI than what Gemini does. It is an AI which works offline. So that's why they did not charge
On-device.
any subscription fee like what ChatGPT does or any other AI LLM does. Hence why when they released it, it was too good to be true that, wow, all of this is going to be available for free. And they go like, yeah, we are going to give you the first 2 years for free. And TikTok is already not the platform, but time, 2025. So December it is. So they do have the confirmed. I don't know whether this is rumors or still confirmed. Now, apparently, these are the ones that, according to Android Police, is it Samsung is having this particular list on the devices that will, on the exact Galaxy AI, which is going to be accessible without subscription fees.
The top tier ones, obviously.
Live Translate, fantastic. I'm glad to hear that because that one, a lot of people use it. The launch for last year's Fold and Flip was in Korea. Was it last year before that? And it was very, very nice to try. Note Assist and Samsung Notes, okay. Zoom Nightography.
What?
Was
the night.
Yeah, but
night
was
zoom.
that even a Galaxy AI thing? But okay. Audio Eraser, I'm glad. Audio Eraser,
I've never tried audio eraser.
Audio
I don't know what it
Eraser,
is.
it's psychotic. So, like Apple's Audio Eraser,
It removes
whatever,
noise.
it just
and-
removes noise. But you know why this is psychotic? You can play music. So you can get, so just say you're playing Hotel California at the side basking together, Adam playing tabla at the back there. But you know what
Tabla.
happens? Just say you're singing and Adam's playing the guitar. And you know what's going to happen? You can audio erase your voice and just let his guitar play. Or do vice versa.
Wow.
A lot of people are not talking about how great audio eraser is on Samsung devices.
And you don't even need a multi-track machine.
Yes. So you can record the whole performance live and you can literally take it out. So of course, when I went
Instant
for
-1.
Yes, exactly.
If you sing off key, bye.
Yeah. And look, as a
Bye-bye, singer.
musician, if you want to -1 a song, you just have to cut down the mids and you're sorted.
Yeah.
But you can kind of hear it. It's
still
annoying.
hear it.
But the way Samsung's algorithm does it, and I'm sure that the Snapdragon chipset helps with this. So I don't know whether the Exynos one will have an issue with the Flip. But knowing the fact that audio erasers for free is great. Browse Assist, it's more like if you want to summarize, that one
Right.
Gemini does that anyway. Generative Assist, that is good. The generative assist more like your generation. Usually you need internet for that, so I guess this is with the internet one. Now Brief, Syed doesn't like it. I
He
like
doesn't
Now
wear
Brief.
briefs.
That fella's a boxer guy, yo. I like Now Brief because I have a tracker for fitness. I feel that Now Brief is more on wake up in the morning instead of looking at my Whoop band and my Aura ring.
Oh, it gives
app.
you,
which is
some
good. It tells
stats.
it tells your sleep. How did you do well? So that's why a lot of people talk. The ones who complain about how Now Brief is not usable or useless is the ones who are not tracking your sleep.
Right.
So I think that would be very good. It's nice to just wake up and find out whether or not you slept well, because that's what I do on my Whoop band and the Aura ring anyway.
Did they detail on what devices are supported or just purely
No, they didn't.
Galaxy?
It's more like the exact Galaxy. A good question. We shall do a bit further on that. Photo Assist is also apparently no subscription fees. Voice Recorder. I think this is the one where you can record voice and you kind of transcribe it. I think that is the feature which is currently for Galaxy AI because I did a workshop. And Transcript Assist is also there as well. So
you
but to
transcribe
be
the
honest,
video.
the Transcript Assist has been a hit or miss. I remember when we were doing a review and then Lihut tried
Because
to do
you don't have
speaker
an
one, speaker
American
two.
accent, brother.
They don't know the speaker 2, speaker 3, so I think that's okay.
Oh yeah, they get mixed up with the
Yeah, they
speakers.
do.
Yeah. It'll improve.
So what do you think about this particular situation right now?
I mean, there will always be a catch, right? And things cannot be forever free. Obviously, Samsung is going to have to pay Google certain fees if you access Gemini,
Yep.
and only Gemini Advanced paid plan will get some of the extra features.
Yeah.
It totally makes sense. Cannot be free.
Okay.
Yeah. It would be in Samsung's kind of strategy to try and hook users in by, buying a new device and you get 2 years free. So I think that's a good hook.
Yeah.
And it's nothing new.
Okay.
It's a good draw. But also a little bit like Apple, how they do everything on device and trying to pull all the AI features like Apple Intelligence into iPhones and other devices, rather than depend on third-party and external LLMs, like Gemini or ChatGPT or whatever. Makes sense.
For the segment of Who Asked for This, this is something that you found in our group chat and you shared this. I had no idea. Even this week, I was like, hey, what should I put in for Who Asked for This? And then I saw you shared this. Look, I love white.
Yes,
you can see
you're
the
a big
whole
fan of
studio.
white.
Everybody who knows me knows I like white. But do you think that Lenovo coming up with a white color ThinkPad is a good idea? And who asked for this, Vernon? Who?
Whether it's a good idea, I think I'm a huge fan of the ThinkPad for many years.
Yep.
And a couple of things that really define the ThinkPad. Okay, the matte black.
Yep.
The amazing keyboard.
Yep.
Mil-spec durability. It's always been tough, very well built. The red track point.
So apparently they're not going to have that.
Sure. So,
But why though?
that is a signature, and whether it's a novel idea and something that's there, but I think hardcore ThinkPad users always love the trackpad, the track point. Okay, and also I think performance and repairability was always a strong point for ThinkPads.
Yeah.
And what Lenovo has done over the years is expand the ThinkPad line, which also includes like ThinkBooks, which are catered to the younger, more modern workforce. So they may not want a very classic looking ThinkPad. They want something more modern, which is why we have the ThinkBooks, right? And also ThinkPads have also come in different colors like grey.
Yes.
I do have a Gen 5 X1 Carbon, which is grey.
Okay. Nice.
And I also currently use a matte black Gen 7
Okay.
X1 Carbon. So
Okay.
white is a surprise. I'm very.
Did anybody ask for white as a user of ThinkPad?
No, I don't think anybody asked for white, and I'm very curious on how they're going to execute this white thing on a ThinkPad.
Well, Mac did white for the longest time.
Oh yeah, the iBooks and
yeah. So my
Really
very
nice.
first Mac was a white color MacBook. It was like 20 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
it was nice. I thought it was.
I
Very
like
nice.
it, and
Yeah,
I
thought
guess
was
it all
nice.
comes down to the finish. But because I'm not a Windows user and I hate Windows, so I'm not going to use it. Are you going to be using it if you had a chance or to daily
A
drive
white.
a white color Lenovo? ThinkPad?
I don't mind. I mean, it's still a ThinkPad, right?
Oh.
White is just basically the finish. I'm not too sentimental about it, and also not too sentimental about them removing the track point.
Okay.
I personally don't use it, but some hardcore users really think that that's the defining.
I
thing.
have used this before, way long time ago, before I was using a
Do you
Mac.
know why it was invented? Because at that point we didn't have a trackpad, right?
Yeah.
So a track point also saved
The space.
So people on, in an airplane, trying to do work, you have a track point that was actually accurate if you wanted to do some work. So yeah, personally, I say just move on. Don't care about the trackpad too much.
Yeah.
The track point too much.
Okay. So speaking of Windows laptop, it's interesting how you told me about how you I thought you use Mac only, but when Syed came out with his community segment question, I was like, maybe it's not something that we can talk about so much, but the result says otherwise. So the community segment, which you have participated every single week, is that the question was that which laptop or desktop OS do you guys prefer? Tell us in the comment section below. Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and others. I don't know what is this others. Then we found out down here, somebody said something lah.
Harmony OS PC.
Exactly. So that's quite funny. But the results were
Like 2 units in a row.
75% Windows, which I didn't know that because I thought that, no, meaning like our audiences.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So I
I don't find it surprising. But
yeah, okay. And then Mac OS is 13th place. Linux. The last person I know using Linux was my elder brother, and he was using as a server. You still use Linux until now? Oh, fantastic. So I guess we got something to talk about. And the others is like a Harmony OS or or Space XOS.
Space XOS.
I don't know what else got, but okay. I have to say his name fully because every week I try not to say his name, but I'm going to say it now. The Black Digger.
Read the comments.
The Black Digger.
The big
I actually
Black
use
Digger.
both. I prefer to use my Mac for anything to do my work, but it sucks major ass when it comes to gaming. So at home, my primary setup is a Windows machine instead.
Cyberpunk is coming, dude.
Yeah. So speaking of which, we are going to be testing out Cyberpunk Ultimate Edition soon. So stay tuned for that. Aerospace is Harmony OS PC. The only closest thing that we got to Harmony OS was when we tried that laptop where you can fold. Leo and I, it didn't feel so much of a difference. It felt like a Windows, but we didn't try it forever.
Gorgeous device. Though.
And then Nash Day says Windows forever. I tried a Mac OS few times, but I can't jive with it at all. I think that's a user problem. And then
User face problem.
Mobile Racing Gaming 8155. His name is Mobile Gaming Racing, so we know the fella will use Windows. Windows because if I need to do anything on it, it does it. Yes, Macs are good, but are more efficient. But if you want to game, there you go. Can they do it? Not so. Windows though, not so efficient. Works. It is also upgradable, unlike those overpriced Apple products. I mean, that's what a lot of it's not outside. I think he's being honest, and I think. As a gaming guy, of course, you always have to consistently upgrade your device and be a bit more modular.
It's a very, very old argument.
Yeah. Speaking of argument, for me, I got nothing to say about this because I'm a Mac user. I've always been a Mac user.
100%?
100%.
Okay.
Whenever
on the desktop.
When I review a Windows device, I can't wait to finish my I mean, okay, that.
But you play games on it, right?
No,
it's
I
not.
don't. I don't. Maybe because I don't play games. I used to play Heroes, Might and Magic number 3. That's all. That's the last game I played.
1929.
Yes, correct, bro. That's the last game I played on Windows.
Heroes of Might and Magic. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's true.
I actually forgot about that game.
So I have nothing to say about this.
Okay.
2 things you need to talk to us about.
Sure.
Talk to us about your workflow using Windows in your life. I had no idea. I feel like I don't know you anymore. And I have... You use Linux as well.
The
Tell us about that.
secrets is out there.
So talk to us about Windows usage and the Linux usage.
But before I go there, just looking at the stats, right? It clearly defines the market share of global OS. Almost.
That's
like
true,
Windows is about 80%, I think.
That's
Mac
true,
OS is
true.
about
Yeah,
a
you're
little
right.
bit over 10%. And this has been the case for the past couple of decades. Linux has not Linux has grown in the recent years, but still not that big competitor that it's supposed to be for Windows, right? So I think it's quite accurate how it
is.
How it represents the
global scale,
the global OS market share. I personally, I use multiple OSs, that's for sure. Right, Mac OS is my main OS.
Alhamdulillah.
Because you cannot run away from that on Apple products, right? iPad OS, obviously, sometimes I use it. Technically Apple. I have a Windows PC at home, a desktop that I built.
Why?
But it currently dual boots into Linux, which is Ubuntu.
Okay.
And I only boot into Windows because I want to play games.
Okay, what games do you play now?
FIFA only.
There you go.
Literally FIFA and Grid, which is a racing game. Okay. But I haven't turned it on for the past 6 months, so that's that.
That means you're not using Windows, Ladi.
So my X1 Carbon, I decided
you're using X1 Carbon.
I decided to eradicate Windows altogether because, I just wanted to remove Windows from my life. And it was running Windows 11.
Now?
It's now running Ubuntu. So it's running the latest Ubuntu. And it runs so well on all hardware. Okay. And that's, I think, the draw of Ubuntu and the draw of Linux and the advantage of Linux. It runs really well on all hardware.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what are you running and what are you using the X1 for then?
I use it for work. So because a lot of things are web-based and cloud-based, so there is really no friction in terms of moving from device to device, whether I'm going Windows, Mac, or Linux.
Okay.
Yeah, that's of course, if your workflow involves video editing or something creative, then it's more likely to be in a particular ecosystem like Apple, right? But when I don't, just normal browsing, word processing and spreadsheets. It's all web-based and it's easy to kind of move across all the OSs.
Wow.
No problem at all.
I stand corrected. And I thought we're not going to talk about this more than 1 minute, but eventually we found out the Vernon's secrets of what he used back at home.
It's always nice to dabble in different because
it's good. Because when Syed came out with this, I actually told him, I said, bro, this one you already know the answer, but then we were all surprised. So I stand corrected, Syed.
But I think the important things that you can draw from this particular poll is that, and the comments, is that for games, it's always Windows. And then when you say you want efficiency and productivity, people mention Mac. Yeah. And then they also mention the price thing, which I feel is arguable because Macs aren't the most expensive laptops. If you buy a MacBook Air, it's going to last you 4 or 5 years. Right? So that's debatable.
Okay, cool.
We should do another poll that talks about price and Apple versus PC. Okay, maybe not.
Okay, a few things before we close things off. As I mentioned earlier, if you're watching this on a Saturday, tomorrow we have a very special on-ground showcase at Celcom DG. If you guys are here in Malaysia on the 20th of July, there's 2 sessions. One is at 12 p.m. The other one is at 5 p.m. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to have an on-ground session together with pre-registered people. But usually, even though you're not registered beforehand, you can always just show up over there and then we will obviously have you on board. I plan to bring both the previous generation Flip and the current one, and also the previous Fold and the current one, to do like a on-ground product showcase as well. And it's happening on the 20th of July and also on the 26th of July. So the following week, it'll be the next day as well. So yeah, that is what is happening. In terms of video releases, we have already released our hands-on camera review of the HUAWEI Pura 80 Ultra. If you guys haven't checked that out, make sure to check it out. Belkin released 3 very cool USB-C hubs, which not only works for Mac. I know you all know that we cover a lot of Mac-related stuff, but please keep in mind that Belkin is one of the globally very well known to be the best when it comes to all of their hubs. So we did a review on that. We had a hands-on video on the unpacked devices. And I guess that's it. So make sure to check it out. And as usual, stay tuned for our YouTube community post. And of course, if you have any questions, any things that you want to discuss about, let us know in the comment section below, because last week was a very good engagement. We had a lot of you all commenting and giving us your feedback on what you thought about the devices and how we reacted to certain things. So that is something whereby we can do moving forward as well. So with that, we'd like to say thank you so much for watching episode number 23 of What the Tech. My name is Adam Lobo.
I'm Vernon, signing off. See you in the next one.
Bye-bye.